Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video, and we're back today with another build showcase. Today we're looking at another 3-set legendary for the Pyromancer, which is the Lava Lich set. I've gotten 4 out of 5 pieces of this. I don't have the helmet, so I can't give you 100% of the of which piece is best. But hopefully in this kind of video I can show you the 4 pieces that I do have. Which ones are the best and which ones I use, and how strong this build can actually be. So to start off the build, we're going to go over the 3 abilities we're using. Because it's Lava Lich, we're going to be using Eruption as our main damage source. I'm using Feed the Flames as just a little heal and a bit of damage. It's not really that big important, and Overheat, it's not that important either. These 2 abilities are interchangeable with whatever you want really. I'm using Eruption because Lava Lich works with Eruption the best, because its 3-set is quite... It's just Eruption damage and cooldown reduction, so that's the abilities. Going on to the gear, I'll just get the guns out of the way. The guns don't really play a big part in this. The only part that plays something is Fortress, giving you that 43% damage bonus. That's all that I really use the guns for. One has Shadow Comet, the other has Ultimate Storm Whip. You use whatever you want. Fortress is just there for the damage bonus. Onto the actual armor pieces, we got Helmet, Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction. Obviously is what you need. Those are the 2 most important. Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, just so you can have as much Eruptions as possible. But we're starting off with Power Simulation, 11,000 Anomaly Power for each elite. Nice. Eruption, Skill Duration. A quick heads up, we literally use every tier 2 or tier 1 eruption mod. We use every single tier 1 eruption mod, and then both of the tier 3s. So it's every eruption mod and then any anomaly power you can fit on, right? So we have increased duration. On the chest piece, we have anomaly status. We don't have cooldown reduction, but that's just because the chest piece doesn't have it, but we need the chest. But eruption damage and skill radius, 100% need that. On the waist, we have anomaly power status. Would rather cooldown, but whatever. But you have the increased explosion damage, and you can cast it 1 more time with Pompeii. And then you have the hands. Now this is the piece that I would probably trade out for the helmet, because the hands have max HP instead of anomaly power, but they do have cooldown, which is nice. And we have Etna, which is another charge of eruption, and then Magma Coat for the extra damage over time. Onto the boots. We have Anomaly Power cooldown, which is very nice. Then we have Anomaly Echo and Untamed Power. Untamed Power can be traded out for something else, just for a bit more Anomaly Power if you want, because you're actually trying to you don't really use Eruption in melee range, so you don't get much value out of Untamed Power. But that's pretty much the gear. You can pause the video, have a look at it, see what's there. But that's the gear, the mods, and all that. Anomaly Echo, I don't know if I said, but yeah, you just get Anomaly Power on skill use. Onto the talent tree. Much like in the previous video, the talent tree is relatively similar. Goes down the bottom tree, mainly because this is like the explosion tree. Any explosive ability, if you use any of those, this is the tree you take. I took Extinction just because you don't set enemies on fire with Eruption, and then you take as much cooldown reduction as possible. And obviously I have the Cheat Death because it's just nice to have. Now, as a quick before we go on to the gameplay, and before I let you guys watch just the gameplay footage of me doing a 15 Scorched Lands, I believe, just a quick summary of how I use the build. Because you have 3 charges of Eruption, you have extremely high burst damage, and so depending on what type of enemies you're fighting depends on how I use the ability and how I would recommend using the build, that is. So if you're just fighting a bunch of random adds, a bunch of alpha Perferos and normal Perferos, or whatever you want to call them, you just kind of group them up somehow by kiting them around corners. Then you use 1 or 2 eruptions, and they'll usually clear 90% of them if you kite them and group them accurately and decently enough. If you're fighting bosses, on the other hand, though, it's probably best if there's 2 bosses in the arena, like you've got 2 behemoths or you've got 2 broodmothers or something like that. Try to stack them and then spam all 3 of your eruptions straight onto them. They'll usually get them below half very easily. If you can't do that, just funnel one of them. Usually you'll encounter just one boss, But you know, if you encounter 2, try to do that. And that's the general gist of the build. If you're doing trash and clearing ads, try to group them up as best as possible. The radius of the eruptions are quite large, sorry, but you know, they're not as big as like an ash blast or something like that. So you have extremely high boss damage, but your AoE clear is pretty low. But that's pretty much the summary of the build. Honestly, I was not expecting this build to be as good as it is. It is quite nice, and I actually quite enjoyed using it. Pretty fun to use as well. That is kind of the end of though. If you enjoy the video and enjoy the showcase, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. I'll be looking to build for the other 3 or other 2. I'll be looking to make a video on the other 2 sets of legendaries for Pyromancer in the future, and if I do get the helmet for this specific build, I'll definitely make an update video just showcasing how much stronger the build has gotten with just that one piece of gear change. But without further ado, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the gameplay footage of the Scorched Lands 15 using the Lava Lich set. And catch you in the next one, I guess. Peace out.
bonus, we can all start bathing again.
Excellent.